Hello and welcome everyone. In this video we will see what scientific discoveries changed the world. This video is brought to you by Question Response, the channel where you will find the answer to everything. I thank Chen, Mike Brandt, Stephen Haddock and Kenley White for sharing their answers to this question with us. We'll start with Chen's answer.
It can be said that Edison's invention of the incandescent light bulb brought light and civilization to the whole human world, and at the same time gave birth to the world's electrical industry. Incandescent light bulbs have changed the world by facilitating the creation of large electrical grids and changing society's economic and social structure. It also brings electricity and electrical appliances into the homes of people across the world. First invented by Thomas Edison in 1879, the light bulb ushered in a new era of society. These changes began in the United States and then expanded to include a significant portion of the world. Although many inventors had experimented with incandescent light bulbs before 1879, Edison's version became the first widely distributed model. Centennial light, a light bulb that has been lit continuously since 1901. It's been 120 years now. Image, Pinterest. Probably more than any other invention, the light bulb has been used for various purposes. This also led to widely use of electricity, which drastically changed society. Humans no longer rely on candles, lanterns and other forms of limited light for illuminating. This had improved safety and reduced fire risks. People could now carry on their daily lives in the evening, cities became more social in the evenings, and homes were safer now that they weren't being lit and heated by fire. This also changes the social structure, allowing activities to last into the night. Another significant change was to the working industry. Installing light bulbs allowed businesses to work longer and later at night, making it easier to hire workers in shifts instead of shutting down at dusk for most. Industrial sectors such as manufacturing, transportation and processing became much more efficient, increasing profits and contributing to improved local employment by requiring more workers to accommodate late shifts. The invention of the light bulb continued to drive change for decades. In many ways, it was the forerunner of nearly all electrical appliances humans use today, including thermoelectrics, electric water heaters, ovens, and even computers. That's why many experts consider Edison's light bulb to be one of the most important inventions in American and world history. Now, the electric light bulb has become an indispensable thing in human life. There are also some other examples, please see here.
The next answer is from Mike Brandt.
During WW2, Hess studied the seafloor using the new technologies that the US Navy had developed, sonar and magnetic detectors. He found a lot of very interesting stuff, but they didn't include, Nazi submarines. Focus, Harry. After WW2, Hess picked up where he left off, and studied submarine sonar depth data, and in 1953 postulated that the continents had once been one, and were separating. If so, we should find a rift in the middle of the ocean. By the early 1960s, Harry had discovered the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. In 1963, he used an old minesweeper to tow a magnetometer along the seafloor off San Juan de Fuca, and found the smoking gun. The magnetic signature of the seabed is striped, where the magnetic poles of the Earth had periodically flipped, and laid down new material magnetically aligned in the opposite direction. And today, we teach this stuff in middle school. Literally, this scientific discovery changed the world.
We can continue with Stephen Haddock's answer. Isaac Asimov argued that the only really important scientific discovery was made in 1752 when Benjamin Franklin published his paper that showed lightning was an electrical phenomenon. This, as they say, changed everything. Prior to this, scientific discoveries were only of importance to other scientists. They had no real relationship to people as a whole. Sure, the church might object when Galileo published his work about a heliocentric universe, but it didn't make an impression on the public as a whole. But Franklin's discovery led to a very practical use. This is one of Franklin's lightning rods. It was a device that, get this, stopped lightning from striking buildings. It spread like, I don't know, lightning maybe? Within a decade only churches weren't using them because, they thought lighting was divine and specific retribution from God. However, after lightning struck a church where gunpowder was being stored, because, God likes churches, even they started adopting the darn things. The idea that science could solve practical problems started with the lightning rod, and before long, that weird phenomenon called electricity turned out to have all kinds of uses. Like motors that didn't need flames. Bright, cheap, safe lighting. Blazingly fast calculating machines. We continue with Kenley White's answer.
This isn't a difficult decision. We've all lived through it right here, right now. It was actually three discoveries tied together that created a quickening. The world dropped their pens and paper, and engaged in a sweeping metamorphosis of Earth's society. The computer. While none of us really knew what good they would do in our lives, in the space of 30 years, advances in software, and we now realize a computer can do just about anything a human can do. It has created a world of precision such as has never been witnessed. The internet. I remember hearing reporters say, "What is an internet?" Well, it was a web of connections spanning in all directions that would quickly connect every single person in the world. Massive businesses would spring up. Social media would bring us all together, and even love became something that could hatch between two people 12,000 miles apart that would have never otherwise met. The smartphone. I remember using my first computer in the 1980s. I saw a vision that day that we would all eventually have a computer in our shirt pocket. The first time I saw the iPhone, I remembered that vision. When Frank Canova envisioned the first smartphone, little did we know that we would all be able to be anywhere we wanted, and still be connected to all our friends, all our resources, and true 24/7 networking of peoples from all over the world would grow out of that. Honorable mention, software. It wasn't just the computer, or the internet, or the smartphone, but software has been the genius that ties all of these technologies together into the force they've become. Without software, we'd still be trying to figure out how to use the computer. The internet would be a very limited resource, and the smartphone would be dumb. I've witnessed all of these leaps in science in my lifetime, and I'm here to tell you right now it was a vastly different world before these advances came along. Not only do I see unimaginable potential for these breakthroughs to equalize the quality of life for all, I believe they'll bring the people of the world together someday. We'll finally overcome the various governments' ability to falsely influence public opinion. When that day comes, we'll no longer be manipulated into opposing each other as we have been since the beginning of civilization on this planet. Bureaucrats, politicians, and dictators beware, for the truth is now streaming on Earth. And so are the lies.
The video is over, thank you for staying until the end. You can now subscribe if you like the video more. Remember to also leave a like, it helps for the referencing on YouTube. This is now the end of this video. Remember to leave a comment to tell us if these answers resonate with you. Bye and see you soon.